Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yes, I'm a Mom. My name is Tanisha Lacey, and before we get started, I just want to remind you to go ahead and subscribe or follow or like this podcast, depending on what platform you're listening in on. And today, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about something that came up earlier today on one of my social media threads, and it was the question of, should you as a parent ever need to apologize to your child? So in my own personal opinion, yes, absolutely, hands down, unequivocally, yes. So for me, myself, I apologize to my 2-year-old all the time. And it's just the right thing to do, in my opinion. At the end of the day, you are raising a human being, and they really do pick up more of what you do versus what you say. So when you demonstrate respect for others, it's just much easier for them to, really receive that concept and apply it themselves. And I know for most of us, and myself included, our childhoods were probably a little bit different. I'm 37, so I was born in 83. So most of the people around that time and older, you already know what it was in the household. You know it was all about what your parents said and not talking back, and letting them talk. You say nothing. You just listen. A lot of things were just because I said so. There was no explanation. You couldn't ask any questions about anything. It just was what it was. And overall, for me, I get that type of militance that they had, and I kind of get where it came from, as something being passed down from generation to generation. But that is not the right way, I feel anyway, to instill emotional maturity within your child. Part of raising them to be a decent human being is also raising them to respect all living things, and they are included in that. So it's not so much about an age thing or, a seniority here. It's just that, right is right and wrong is wrong. If I, as an adult, do something that's wrong, I'm not offended by my child calling me out about it. And I'm also not too proud to, take accountability for whatever that thing was. And also, if it was something that was, offensive to her, or even with my son, he's 18, I have no problem apologizing to either one of them for anything. And sometimes it's not even little things. Sometimes I think the biggest things to apologize for are things where we as a parent may be in denial about things that we may have done wrong on a grander scale, or things that have affected your child that you did. And those are the most important things to apologize for, because I feel like when you don't do that, you really can leave lasting impressions on your kids that you may never be aware of, but it can affect them, well into their lives, into their adulthood, and into their parenting, into their relationships, and you just don't want to start that ripple effect. So I know me, myself, I have definitely had really in-depth conversations with my son. I have asked him directly, how he felt that I was doing as a parent, as a mother. Were there places where he felt like I can improve? Are there places where I'm not supporting him enough? Does he feel comfortable enough with speaking to me about anything? And, how does he feel like I've been there for him? And for most of those things, it was really well. There was one place where he felt like I came up a little bit short, and that definitely had to do with the socializing. So for me, myself, I have dealt with depression since I was a child, and it affected me a lot within my parenting in terms of not being as social, and therein not allowing my child, at that time it was just him, to be as social as he probably needed to be, because I didn't want to socialize with anybody. And he has expressed that he felt as though not socializing when he was younger affected how he is now, in terms of he feels as though he's sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase this without putting too much of his business out there. You know, I can talk all about myself, but I don't want to put him all on Front Street. He just kind of wishes he was a bit more socially confident, I guess. He feels slightly socially awkward, but you would never know it. He's very much a person who can go anywhere or be around anyone, and he doesn't seem, bothered at all. It doesn't come across that way. He's never, shy or, I want someone to go with me here or there. No, he's very, very, very independent. So, but when he told me that, for one, I felt horrible. For two, the first thing I did was apologize. And I apologized in all the ways that, I was coming up short for myself affected me coming up short for him. And it was definitely something that I took into account and tried to change that dynamic immediately. And so now that I have this little one, my daughter, all the conversations that I've had with my son, they come back to me now, and it's completely influencing how I'm raising this child differently. So I must say that was one benefit of having such a huge gap in between my two kids, was because I got to see the things that I did with my first one and ultimately how he has turned out, and it let me know which things to keep and which things to switch up parenting wise. Overall, I'm very satisfied with how my son has turned out, but I do see the couple of issues that he addressed to me of how he felt of where I could have done a little bit better. And so this time around, I am trying to be on my A game. But overall, it's just a reminder that it's okay to humble yourself and listen to your kids sometimes. First off, kids are very intelligent, and you can't sell them short as if they're not because they have less life experience here. That's not the case. If anything, I feel as though kids are a lot more unfiltered. So you really do get the raw truth from them. So usually if a kid says something, it's true, it's right. As you start to grow, you do begin to become programmed, and so your perception becomes cloudy. The way that you perceive things is completely different, but a child sees things with very raw eyes, very open eyes, and they don't sugarcoat it. They say kids say the darndest things. They do, but it's true. Now, granted, there's a time and a place for everything, but overall, I just never want to take the power of words and of having a voice away from my child. So we're very open with one another, and I have no problem with, being on their same level, because at the end of the day, as a parent, I'm older than them and I have more experience than them, but I'm no better than them, and there's nothing about me and my years here that can't allow me, to give them the same respect that I would want for myself, the same respect that I expect from them. It's very fair to give that back. So in closing, I just wanted to kind of address my thoughts on that, and let me know what you think, and leave me a comment on what your opinions are or what your personal experiences were growing up and how that affected you. So once again, please click like and subscribe or follow, and do look forward to the next full episode on Sunday, released at 12 noon. You guys take care now, and I will catch you later. Bye.